Right. The topic is losing weight and maintaining your natural body weight, your optimal natural body weight. Right. So, okay, a disclaimer. I've I was lucky enough. At the time I watched plenty videos, of other people that explain these things. So I'm going to try and put the most important pieces together in this video so that to help you get to get straight there, to get to the point, so you have options and you know what you can try and do to lose weight. And it's not just about losing weight, it's we want to be healthy, right? We want to be healthy. So, and the thing we got to solve is what's going on in our mind, and we got to solve hormones, make sure the lymph is working properly, make sure the cells is working properly. Your make sure your appetite it switches off. Okay, because we've heard of terminology like emotional eating. We've heard of people say they just can't stop eating, they're always hungry. You see, the hormones has got to work properly, but also people have got to become insulin sensitive and so on. A lot of people are pre-diabetic, or they are have type 2 diabetes. So yeah, and it's serious because we can lose limbs, we can lose eyesight, we can lose our heart, everything. So diabetes, let's say type 2 diabetes, is literally the body is rotting. It's getting destroyed. It's rotting. Who wants that? Nobody. Yes, there's medicine. And oh, here's the thing: clinics and hospitals and all those people, they're not in the business of healing you. They give you medicine to help you cope. They try their best here and there to give you some advice, but they're just literally not trained to reverse type 2 diabetes. They're not trained to help you become insulin sensitive. They assume you are just a food addict, you're just an addict, and you can't heal yourself, you can't change, you are who you are. Most of the time, they're dealing with people that are middle aged, and people are just who they are. It's let's say somebody has an addiction. People just accept it. This person has got that problem. They got that addiction. That they don't even try and change that person. That person will carry on until their last day like that often. So we got to now deal with something very serious, and that goes for myself and everyone. I've researched this also for myself. I mean, I also don't want to suffer the consequences of pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes and so on. So let's backtrack a bit. So what I'm going to talk about now is we want to eat in a way that helps our lymph system function properly, it's clean and function properly. We want to eat and drink in a way that helps our body to become insulin sensitive, right? We want our cells to work properly. We don't want to have insulin resistance and all sorts of issues. We don't want the fatty liver. We don't want too much fat in our blood. We don't want our body struggling. So, from what I've come across with the insulin resistance, there's two things when you want to reverse this. Okay, we want to have this is the way you want you. This is the way I've researched it. This is the way. There's got to be a low fat, um, whole food, plant based diet predominantly. Okay, let's say people don't have the discipline, or they don't want to just eat that diet to reverse their type 2 diabetes. Let's say you're going to have 80% of your food is going to be from that. And if you really want meat and eggs, you're going to have, let's say, let's say the difference is going to be other products like animal products. Okay. We're not going to go for the fattier fruits often like avo. We're not going to go too often with that. You're going to have it as a treat now and again until you've solved everything. Okay, once you've solved everything, you're at the optimal natural body weight, because that's you want to be at your natural body weight. What is your genetic? We are all supposed to be slim and trim. That's it. We're not supposed to be carrying so much weight on us, or we're not supposed to have pot bellies and so on, right? Okay. When a person's in their 50s, they should still be able to work physically, um, do physical labor. You should still be able to. You don't. Yes, you're not going to be like somebody that's 20, but you should still be able to cope doing physical things without getting out of breath, without struggling too much. Obviously, depending at what level, but just say moderate exercise, moderate, not exercise, moderate work, physical, because, yeah, okay, let's keep it at that. So you eat whole food, plant based predominantly, about 80%, and then about 20% is going to be your eggs and meat. The goal, actually, if you can say, okay, until I've fixed myself, I'm gonna I'm gonna eat mostly, if not 100%, fruit and veg, nuts and seeds. That's it. Fruit and veg, nuts and seeds. And I'm not gonna. It's gonna be a low-fat, plant-based diet. Right now, that is kind of fiction. I'll send you videos if you want. That guys that really know what they're talking about, that know the subject very well, but they don't put it all. They don't summarize it all in one video. So you got to watch multiple videos. You got to have the time to scan through these things. This is the way. I promise you. Whole food plant based, a low fat whole food plant based. It's mostly fruit, some vegetables, nuts and seeds. It's mostly fruit. Yes, I know it's sweet, but you can also opt for the less sweet, less of the sweet, and have like the more sour fruits, including your melons. You can include raspberries, strawberries, berries in general. Um, okay, tomatoes is actually a type of fruit. It's got seeds in it. So tomato, you can eat cucumber. So your vegetables, if you're not a big vegetable eater, you can have lettuce. But yeah, we're not focusing on the cheeses and all that stuff now, because we're focusing on low fat, whole food plant based to reverse insulin resistance, reverse type 2 diabetes. It takes some people 6 weeks. It can take a few months, 2 to 3 months, but you do this, and a person can dramatically lose weight in 1 year. Can dramatically lose weight, because once they fix the type 2 diabetes, once they reverse it, once they reverse pre-diabetes, um, also, okay, the plant-based, the fruits and the vegetables, it it switches off hunger. It You see, it's a hormonal problem. If you're gonna eat just processed foods, you're never going to get satisfied. You're gonna be full in your stomach, but your mind is still saying, "Feed me, feed me, feed me," because the hunger hormones haven't been switched off. So it's the fiber in the fruit and veg that helps to send a signal to your mind or your brain to say, "I'm done. I've had enough." There is some the fructose in the fruit will also trigger you not to want that Coca-Colas. You now will have the willpower to say, "I don't want all that sugary drinks," right? I'm strong enough to go there because I've had enough fruit. I've had watermelon, I've had peaches, nectarines, I've had raspberries, strawberries, all that stuff. The body's hunger hormones has kicked in, is working. The hormones is starting to work. You got to get the hormones working. Then your body's also got to clean its lymph system out. Your cells is got to start functioning properly, become insulin sensitive. Your blood is got to be cleaned up. Basically, when you're eating real food, it's going to help your blood clean up. You don't want so much fat in the blood as well, because the two, not the fructose, in the fruit, when you eat the fruit, the fiber takes out a lot of that sugar that you ate, but it also gives your body energy. So, yes, don't be scared of the fructose, but it must be with the fruit. You can't be drinking it in fruit juices and drinking it in sodas and stuff. No. The sucrose in that, you see, the processed foods, there's no fiber. So now you're ingesting fats, you're ingesting a lot of sugar, but there's no fiber to help your body to switch off and say, I've had enough. To take the fiber helps to take some of that sugar out of your body. It, through elimination, you can't do it now. You stay hungry. Now, most people in at the moment in the world is living on the Western diet, processed foods, packaged foods, box foods. It's made in a factory. No fiber. No fiber. You're going to stay hungry. You eat literally eating every half an hour to hour. You're eating, and you're eventually people's stomach. They got a pot belly. I got it as well. So I recently switched to whole food plant based predominantly, and I lost the pot belly. And it's even worse when people don't have a gallbladder anymore. Body struggles to digest all their food. And because that people are just eating way too much. And the body isn't hormone is not working properly. So it's gonna gain weight. And it's not just stored energy. The cellular at the cellular level, the lymph system, everything is not, and the hormones is not functioning properly. It's a big mess up. The body has become toxic. You see, it can't handle all that food's coming in. It doesn't have the right hormones working correctly. Doesn't even have the hormones to say stop. I'm full. Have you ever, when your hormones is working properly, it says to you, oh, I don't want to see any more food now. But it's not hungry in a half an hour's time or an hour. It's not hungry. If you are hungry every half an hour, the hormones is not working properly. So they say cancer is from inflammation in the body. It's actually when people have got pre-diabetic and they're type 2 diabetic, they're on the way to get cancer as well. It's causing inflammation in the body. So yeah, that's my food for thought for you. Here's the other thing. You don't want to go ketosis. You don't want to go that way. You don't want to go that way. You want to fuel your body on carbohydrates, but from fruit and veg, nuts and seeds, from plant based. You want to fuel your body with that energy. Most people, what's happening, they've grown up without fruit and veg. They ate processed carbohydrates, the factory made foods in the packages. Now they don't, their appetite, they got an aggressive appetite. Hormones are not working properly. The lymph system is blocked. Most people are constipated so badly, it's just not funny. And there's no ways for the body to clear out and to eliminate properly. There's just no ways. There's no fiber. There's nothing natural. They're not eating anything natural. The body's just not designed for that. And on top of it, the body's craving so much to get the right fiber and the right food and the right gut biome. You see, without the fruit and veg, they don't have the right gut biome, gut bacteria, and that's critical for health as well. So they don't have that either. Yeah, so it's a real problem, and it just gets worse and worse. It just gets worse and worse. So the body stays hungry, right? It's staying hungry, and then you end up drinking like what happened to me. You start with 500 ml Coke, becomes a 1 liter Coke, becomes the next eventually on 1.5 liters a day, 2 liters a day, 3 liters, 4 liters a day. The body just can't stop. It just can't. You drink one glass of water, body says, hey, it's enough. It's enough. People drink alcohol, they drink sweetened drinks, they drink Coca-Cola, things like that. Cannot, they cannot stop. There's nothing to say stop. There's nothing that's triggering the mind. They're just stretching their stomach and their bladder and everything. They just stretch it, just gulping down the stuff. Eating nonstop. A donut will never switch off your appetite. Oh, so yeah, processed things, flour, breads, biscuits, breakfast cereals, baked cookies, and all that stuff. As nice as it tastes. In fact, when you start eating fruit and veg, you don't even desire that stuff so much. You'll like vaguely remember it was okay. But you can say, no, I'm not going to have it because I've got a goal. I want to be healthy. I want to be at my best natural weight. Here's the thing, we are actually, human beings are frugivores. We're not carnivores. You can look at a lion's mouth, crocodiles, and all those creatures. What a carnivore looks like. We are not carnivores. We're not even omnivores. A bear is an omnivore. Do we look like a bear? No. We are what you call frugivores. So we are designed to actually eat fruit. Now, since the fall of the Garden of Eden, because I believe in the Bible and the gospel and that, the perfect fruits that can keep a man alive forever, or help a man live or a woman live a few hundred years, 500 years, 600 years. That particular fruits, I don't believe is on the earth at this time. That's why we have to subsidize with a bit of vegetables. We're not, although we're not vegetable eaters, we actually, the closer we get to vegetables, it's actually, let's say, cucumber, avo, tomatoes, that type of stuff, right? But nowadays we have to eat some cooked vegetables. There is nutrition in cooked vegetables as well. So, but ideally, our natural food is raw fruit. Don't have to cook it. No animal actually cooks its food. But now there is a wide variety of fruit. It's delicious. It's good for us. Got amino acids. We don't have to have complete proteins. Our body puts amino acids together. But just to play it safe, we add vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Okay? So we don't run the risk of some fruitarians that didn't eat broad enough with their fruits, and eventually they do have some issues because of that, and it can get quite serious. So, but a complete plant-based diet, fruit, eat as broad as possible, and vegetables, nuts and seeds, but predominantly fruit still. We can live on that. But now, because most people have lived on a Western diet so long, and just to give them some peace of mind, we say, okay, um, have some meat and eggs. When you totally trim, you're healthy. Okay, you probably can dig a bit more into your fattier fruits like avo and cheese and so on. So the goal is to eat as little processed food as possible. If it was available in the 1800s, even their bread was different. We don't want to be chowing tons of bread when we are trying to get trim, lean, lose weight, reverse type 2 diabetes. We don't want to be eating all this processed stuff. Okay, have it as a treat now and again. Maybe once a month, once in 2 months. We got to reverse the whole issue. Okay, that's the thing. This is not about, oh, and once you actually do this, this is not a discipline thing. This is really, discipline is a small part of it. It's the hormones must work properly. Then there's no problem. And it's not that, oh, how can I not have ice cream, and how can I not have Coca-Cola, and how can I not have my favorite cookies and stuff? No, it's you won't have that issue. You won't be even worrying about it. It's when the hormones is working properly. So do this and trust me. So like I was saying, people they try ketosis because they can't eat fruit and veg. They just grew up without it. So now the only other option for them is to try a carnivore or keto diet. To start off with, they weren't eating fruit and veg, but they were eating a lot of processed carbohydrate foods. Processed, not carbohydrates from fruit and veg. They were eating processed, the packaged stuff without the fiber. It's not natural, right? Then they switched to eating. They switched to eating meat. I'm just checking. Is this still recording? They switched to eating meat And when you take away the sugar, fat automatically goes up in a diet. So now they try the carnivore, keto diet, Banting diet, because they literally can't eat fruit and veg. But you don't want to go that way. It causes tremendous constipation. Switching over to ketosis, if you even can get into ketosis, your body hasn't is run on processed carbohydrates so long that you can't even get into ketosis. You will you will literally become like somebody that's like you got no energy. You will become like a zombie. Your brain won't be working properly. You just will have no energy. And you're probably going to get a keto flu. You get sick as well before you actually become properly in ketosis. It's the way the body is designed to be able to handle a famine, but we're not designed to live like it. We function optimally on carbohydrates and sugars, fructose from fruit and veg. Okay, that's what we work on, and that's what I'm going to tell you to go for. I've researched it. Leave ketosis. Leave that. Leave that high fat diets. Go low fat, real foods, predominantly plant based. More fruit, some veg, some nuts and seeds, some meat and eggs. Okay, real food. You'll be sorted. You'll see dramatic results.